Welcome to another episode of the Man Lucrative Podcast. I am your host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm here. Um, this episode is brought to you by PHENYX Audio. If you need headphones, you need microphones, you need in-ears, you need any of this stuff. They even got mixing boards. Even if you need any of this stuff, make sure you go to PHENYX Audio. Tell them Mike sent you from the Mad Lucrative Podcast. And if you use promo code Mad Lucrative or Lucrative Music down here in the description on YouTube, go ahead and get your little percentage off. I think it's about 5-10%. But go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that. Um, let's see. I got a few people that was rocking with me on Twitch and on TikTok for the pre-show. So let me go ahead and shout y'all out right quick. Let me see who we got over here. Let's see. Almighty E, what up? DC was popping. Abby was popping. Marlon Ford, what up? M4 Lon was popping. Kendra, what's going on with you? Diana, what's good? Tony was popping. Nene, what up? Adam was popping. Cedric. What's up? Hold on, let me see what's going on with this. The feed just be coming in. I just be like, what are we doing? Big Mike, what up? Is that Baptiste was popping? Diablo was popping. Dion was going on. Tyrone, you think you better call on Tyrone? Lady said what? Call up was popping. Let's see who we got on Instagram. What up, everybody on Instagram? We just starting over here. What's it? Diamond Blue, what's going on with you? Apostle Pain. Is this Apostle of Pain? If you're the Apostle of Pain, we got some work to do, buddy. That is a sinful nature. We gotta. Are we applauding the Apostle of Pain? Are you calling us? Okay. Sometimes, and this is what happens. This is why I love to do the podcast. So sometimes I get people to come into the chat, and I be like, "Yo, your name just triggers. It's a trigger word for me." So, Apostle of Pain. What are you the Apostle of Pain over? Are you inflicting pain upon fellas, women? What are you doing? But anyway, Big Mike on TikTok was out. Down it, Crowded Day Walker. What's going on, dog? Kilo was popping with you, bro. All right. Everybody on YouTube, y'all already know how I do this. Y'all know I like to show love to anybody that's coming to the chat. So if you are on the chat too, if you come next week, I'm gonna show love to you too. That's just how I work. That's how I work. But anyway, so this is a whole new week. Again, what I say, this is episode 191. Yeah, 191. So this has been a fun week, y'all. I ain't gonna front. Fun but stressful. Everybody that's been in the middle of Mother's Day planning. Oh yeah, make sure you get your tickets to the Mom's Musical. We have a stage play that's coming up in May. Mother's Day weekend. That Saturday, the Saturday of Mother's Day weekend, our stage play will be in Dunwoody, Georgia. If you want to get your tickets, I'm gonna have a link below. But this is the dopest stage play brought to me, Grammy Award-winning music producer Magneto 7. You gotta put the Grammy in front of it because people try to put spit on your name. People be trying to put spit on your name. They be like, "Oh, you're a little producer. You're a little not Grammy winning music producer, platinum selling music producer, Billboard winning music producer, classically trained music producer." Is there anything else? I think that's it. Multi-instrument. Thank you. Instrumentalist music producer. That's a lot to say. But anyway, if you want your tickets for Mother's Day weekend, again, this is the Mom's Musical. We're doing 2 shows. We're going to do 2 shows on that Saturday. Bring your mamas out. Bring your aunties out. Bring all the women. Just come out. We trying to show love to y'all. We trying to show love to you. So, as I was about to say, I went to Tesla yesterday. Listen, I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know how I am. All of my black people, if y'all got something to say, go ahead and say it. Get it out. Just, I can't believe you did this. After Steve, I'm about to call him Steve Jobs. What's his name? After Elon and did all of that, I can't believe you gonna go to Tesla. You gonna go to, yep. Hey, I did. Sure did. And we got some more people that's interested in doing some things with us that y'all gonna be mad about too. Y'all gonna be. I thought we said we wasn't gonna buy nothing from none of these people. Hey, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm a businessman. Separate. All right. Everybody's still listening to Kelly. Kelly is still in your Serato. Don't lie. No, who was that? Boss Man Trav. Boss Man Trav. The Boss Man Trav. You gotta say it right because you gotta go ahead and follow that man. Follow that man. I see unapologetically K2. What's going on with you? Listen, I'm gonna put the. We had the joint over here originally, but this little iRig thing was messing up. So I'm gonna have the audio good for y'all next week because I want y'all to hear what's going on. But anyway, nevertheless, I went to Tesla because we're looking at doing some business. What business that is, I will let y'all know in the future. Just let y'all know in the future. 'Cause what I'm doing and what you doing is two different things. Two different things. But anyway, I went to Tesla to finish the business inquiry that the business that we're looking at doing because I'm trying not to say what it is. And that was the first time. I ain't gonna front. That was my first time going to Tesla, and how I felt when I went into that place. I said, "Up, got him, got him." They said free Tesla. I'm got him. I ain't giving no sauce out. That is a internal conversation I have to have with you. But anyway, went to Tesla, and this is my first time. I ain't gonna front. After looking at um how the tech world has been going, the power grid and all of this stuff, it's made me be real skeptic of looking at a Tesla. I honestly had my eyes set on a Lexus. Honestly, I had my eyes set on a Lexus for my little commuter because I said, yeah, I need me a nice little commuter to get back and forth to my office, and then I just need something nice. And then they clowned me for saying that Lexus was a commuter. I said, I thought that was it ain't a Bentley. It ain't a Bentley. It ain't a Cullinan. That's what I really want, but it ain't that. But anyway, get into the Tesla dealership. They first off, everybody felt like they were my cousin when I got in there. Everybody felt like cousins. They was just looking like, okay, I'm gonna size you up for a second. I'm gonna let you have some time because I know you interested in this car, but you don't really know what's what. So I came in. I said, yo, can I talk to dot 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 because it's a certain person's name. I'm not gonna say it on the live. But I said, yeah, I'm here to meet with so and so, so and so. He's like, oh, about the that. I was like, yeah, about that. He's like, all right, cool. Give him a second. He's back there in the back. When he come out, I'm gonna make sure you see him. But while you wait for him, you may as well look at a car. I was like, nah, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. How many people know? The longer I sat in that dealership, I did what? Got interested. I got interested. So anyway, and I will say the guy's name. The dude that was helping me because I might end up buying the car from him, but his name was Devin. Shouts out to Devin over at Tesla. You need to give me some of this, because if I get you some sales, I need some of that commission. I need that. But anyway, he's talking to me about the cars. I'm just seeing because everybody's seen Teslas. Everybody's seen it. It's not like it's a big to do. Like everybody's seen it. It's almost like the Honda of electric cars. That's how I look at it now. It's the Honda of electric cars. So I was like, I see you looking at this. I see the little Chinese lady over there. She's looking. I see this Arab guy over there looking, and everybody's just touching stuff. They're looking at the buttons. The doors just doing this. I'm like, okay, I'm just thinking in a practical setting. I as soon as Tesla did the Lamborghini doors, I said, "Oh, that's fire." But I'm looking in a practical setting. If I'm parking beside some idiot, right? If I park beside some idiot in a full parking lot, and my doors got to do this, how am I gonna bump his car? Am I gonna bump his car? Am I gonna bump? So the dude's like, "Nah, like, that ain't the way this works." He said, "Push the button." Why did I push the button? Why did I push the Tesla button? So I pushed the button. The doors did this. It did this. And then it was. I was you can't show no tech. You can't show no tech head this type of stuff. You can't show me. So anyway, I'm just listening to him talk. And as I've told my community, because I have something called the lucrative community, I've told them plenty of times. I was like, yo, I gotta cut some of my costs in certain areas. And the gas, for me, I don't like the idea of gas bills, right? Right now I pay about $600 a month in gas. Commute. I live in Atlanta. So I'm paying about $600 a month. And I got a big truck. I got a real big truck. Like crew cab truck. Like not with the little baby door, the big door, right? Four big drawers. But anyway, I go in. David says, well, bro, I see you got an iPhone. What else do you do? And I said, yo, you working this sale, dog. You really trying to sell me while I'm waiting on this business, right? So he said, no, ain't nothing like that. All you gotta, he said, bruh, I know y'all are here to talk business on some other stuff, but when it comes to the car, just check it out. Sit in it. Why did I sit it? I said it. I did. I did. I said it. And they ain't gonna front. Everything in me wanted to hate. I wanted to hate this car. I wanted to hate the Tesla. I was like, I'm not gonna like this car. I just don't see the value in it. Cause I was like, bruh, at some point, if you and how many people? What's the name of the movie? What's the name of the Left Behind? The Left Behind movie that was on Netflix, and everybody saw folks Teslas getting driven like a remote control car. And it's bow, right, all of that. I'm thinking that when it comes to Tesla, because that was the car that they used in the actual movie. So I'm just thinking that part. But then I'm also thinking, all right, well, how much is the electric? How much more am I going to be paying if I got this car? So, bro, like, listen, I ain't gonna front. Everything that Buddy was telling me about this joint was a plus. He was saying, and granted, I do know that people are there to sell. I get it. Everybody is at their job to sell something. I get it. But I'm just thinking in my personal context, how I can integrate stuff. A lot of the times I'm multitasking throughout the day. Any time of the day, you might see me editing a beat video. You might see me sending emails to people. You might see me doing some type of deal when it comes to the real estate, finding more real estate to flip, finding other. I'm doing something all the time. And when this mug told me about the autopilot, I was like, nope, nope. See the thing clapping. It's clapping. It's clapping. Why y'all clapping? Why y'all clapping? He told me about the autopilot. And this is not a Tesla. This is not a Tesla commercial because they ain't paid me yet. Notice I said yet. They ain't paid me yet. But this ain't a Tesla commercial. I'm just saying it was a lot of ups. It was a lot of plus sides to it. And I like the idea of cutting back costs on certain things. And then when it comes to tax season, like everybody, and y'all gonna be watching this late, so it's gonna be past by the time y'all watch it. But if y'all are still waiting on filing y'all taxes, it's about to be up. Y'all, time is ticking, and time is ticking. It's done. I've been doing this for a few weeks, like getting all of the tax and stuff together. Thank God we filed it. It was accepted. All that. Oh my God. Let me give me a clap. Let me give me a clap. But anyway, nevertheless, I did like the Tesla. Y'all might see me driving in one of them joints at some point in time. There it is. I said it. There it is. I said it. Hate me. You can hate me now. Dum, dum, dum. But I won't stop now. All right. Anyway, let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. Um, it's been a pretty It's been a pretty light week for content. A few of these, one of these subjects, I kind of wanted to save until we do the lucrative love podcast. So I'm not going to talk about one of these particular things, but I will talk about all of these tariffs. Da-doom, doo, doo. I need to have like music. Dong, dong, tariffs. Um, Now everybody's panties have been in a bunch. I will say I don't really I don't everything that I do is internal. I'm not looking for government assistance for nothing. When it comes to finances, I'm not looking for their assistance when it comes to any of this stuff. I just want fair. I want fair treatment, fair trade, fair everything. I just want it fair, or as fair as possible. Because whoever has their finger on the trigger has the rule. Like they have the power to do anything. So I'm just looking for fairness. That's all I want. I want fairness when it comes to trade, when it comes to how the foreign nations deal with us, when it comes to anything. Like I think most people will try to separate the two, but when I think of fair treatment, I'm thinking of black folk getting. I'm thinking of. I hate to say black folk because it sounds like I'm being like one sided, but it is what it is. Redlining was a real thing. Redlining is a real thing, but now I think redlining is applied in the case of classes. When it comes to classes and systems that are put into place for people to benefit or to lose off of. I am a person that believes that everybody has the ability to win. I believe that everybody has the ability to win. I think the issue comes in when, and I don't know what's going on with this. Everybody on TikTok, y'all let me know if this works. Y'all let me know if this works. But everybody has the ability to win. Everybody has the ability to do a really really good job financially in life. Is I don't feel like there are a lot of hiccups unless you've opted into the poverty system. For me, the poverty system is um let's see. The poverty system. When I keep talking about poverty music, right? This is my merch right here. Stop making poverty music. Everybody that's watching this on this camera, stop making poverty music, right? When it comes to the concept of poverty music is action based to me. Poverty music is action based. That's why I won't call all trap music or all hood music poverty music. I'm not going to call all hood music or all trap music poverty music. This is why. If you think of Rick Ross, how Rick Ross raps, nothing that he raps about says poverty. Nothing that a lot of what he's talking about is just getting money. It's like is I'm gonna get money, whatever, dot dot dot, billionaire. When it comes to Jay-Z, everything that he's rapping about, it's not talking about poverty. This is what I'm saying. Like when I think my concept kind of gets misconstrued when it comes to how people translate what I consider poverty music. But it's action based music. Now, if I hear again Sexy Red, she's one of the people I think she sells poverty. Everybody that listens to Sexy Red they're in love with poverty. They falling in love with poverty. This everybody that listens to Sexy Red, y'all love poverty. There it is. I said it. You see, this was said. I had to snatch my head back like this to talk about Sexy Red. And I'm a full grown man, Damon. I'm a full. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I think a lot of people have tapped into the idea of poverty, and I'm just one of the people that just I'm not gonna take it. I don't think that it is. I don't. It's not okay. It's not okay. So now, that's why I was talking about some of my business dealings. I said some about the Tesla, and I said some about a few of the other sponsors that's working on certain things. But that's why when I talk about stuff like this, I want people to expand their palette for people. I want people or groups of people. And this is not just white or black. I'm just saying in general, because there are some black people that ain't gonna rock with black people because they say, oh nah, ain't y'all who let this dude in? It's the it is the same concept as Nunu's daddy seeing T.I. and all of them for the first time over at Cascade Skating Ring. If you ain't never seen ATL, I'm sorry. That is in the movie. It's in the movie. But Nunu's dad was up, right? He's up. He came from SWATs. I'm gonna say SWATs for he came from the hood and he moved up and went out to Sandy Springs and got him a big house. One of them big boys. People that was staying in Sandy Springs, Tyler Perry. I think Steve Harvey still got a house in Sandy Springs. Like it's a lot of people that got houses down here in Atlanta that's in Sandy Springs. Sandy Springs is like it's a city outside. It's touching Atlanta, but it's right outside of Atlanta. It's a lot of money out there. But anyway, the people that's from Sandy Springs ain't gonna normally rock with West End people. But there are West End people that's made it up to be able to afford something in Sandy Springs. So that's what I'm saying. I think the classes of people need to start intermingling at some point and give the information, give the knowledge. Cause it's irritating for me to hear people recite the same story over and over. That is the most irritatingest thing. If you are a full grown man and a full grown woman, why are you recycling the same story that your grandmama and granddaddy and them all had? All of them. Why y'all recycling the same story? Like we have to progress the way we think about things. And I feel like the way that we progress and how we think about things is to get knowledge, get the understanding of what's going on. So back to this tariff stuff. There are a lot of fearmonger, a lot of people that's just putting that vibe out. I'm gonna call it low vibrational energy, right? Because if you are a person, and I'm gonna pull the clip up too in a second, but if you are a person that's ever been mistreated, financially abused, maybe physically abused, abused, what do you call it? You verbally abused. If you're any one of those people, the way you can understand tariffs is it's an even playing field, right? And this is how the Don is trying to use it as an even playing field. Now, along with this, there will be certain corrections in the market. There will be a lot of bad that happens. I don't know that I agree with the method. Hold up, and we got to change that out some. We'll change it. We'll change it. But I don't agree with the method that he's using to provoke the tariffs, because I don't believe that you can just do something in one big bang and rip off the band-aid. It's all right, go over there and sit down. Case in point, I feel like the way the Don is using tariffs right now is like if I broke my leg and I go to the hospital and they give me a cast the same day. They do all of the work, like the real work. They do the work on my leg that I just broke. So they pull it in place. And I can tell you about this because I actually broke this leg when I was young. So they pull the leg in place. They put the pins on the side of your leg, and then they wrap it. Well, for me, they had it in a sling, and it had to sit like that for about a month or so. So I'm in the bed with my leg up like that. But what if they fixed my leg? They did all of the necessary work, and then they put a cast on and said, "All right, go home." All right, go home. Don't you good? Don't go. I feel like that's what he's doing. I feel like there needs to be a little bit more time centered around stuff, or maybe not. Or maybe not. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Because I feel like anytime you try to put too much of one thing in the pot, it's too much. People don't know how to adjust to it. Um, I know a lot of people complain about $5 eggs. I'm not one of them people. Like I'm not rich, but I just believe that certain things in life is just gonna cost. You got to figure out a way to get more. Like you got to figure out a way to get more money. So again, I'm never going to take the victim approach. I'm never going to take the victim mentality. It's always going to be, what can I do to put myself in a better position to be able to fight what's going on, right? So anyway, back to the tariffs. I'm gonna pull up Mr. O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful. If y'all watch Shark Tank, he has something to say to y'all, and I like his take. A lot of what he's saying, I have been saying the exact same thing. But here we go. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Literally kissing his ass was the phrase he used, very eloquently.
Sidebar, before I let this play, I love the idea that CNN presented different types of people to speak on this one subject, because I think CNN has done a terrible job of mixing up. Hold on, let me put it over there. I think they have done a bad job with including women. And see, this is not gonna be one of them talks. I know what y'all think this talk is about to be. It's not gonna be that. But I like how they got the black woman up there talking. They got the black dude up there talking. They got the white dude. Like and it looks like this is a Spanish woman. I think she looks Spanish. But anyway, I like that they did this for everybody to talk on this same subject. I like the fact that everybody's talking on the same subject and giving their point of view and making them shut up. Hey, wait, hey, shut. You better not say nothing. See this, and this is. I look at the other stuff that a lot of people don't look at. For my black folk, I'm sorry. For my lower class black folk, I say it like that because it ain't all blacks. For my lower class black folk that's doing all this, all y'all that's doing that, pay attention to the news channels, panel discussions, and how communication is done. Because I think a lot of us didn't get the communication bug. Let me allow space for you to say what you need to say, and then I'm gonna say what I need to say. Not you say what you need to say. Cut you off. I'm gonna do. We don't need to do that. This is lessons that could be learned in all of this stuff. David says, "Love that, yes sir."
Deals.
Hold up, man. The big cheers fit in the building, man. Big cheers fit. All right, here we go. Here we go. Mr. O'Leary, here we go.
104% tariffs on China are not enough. I'm advocating 400%. I do business in China.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Get that man to clap. Get that man to clap. 120 is not enough. They need 400%. They need 400%, cuz. Man, let that man talk, man. Let that man talk.
They don't play by the rules. They've been in the WTO for decades. They have never abided by any of the rules they agreed to when they came in for decades. They cheat, they steal IP. I can't litigate in their courts. They take product, technology, they steal it, they manufacture it, sell it back here. Never
Can
has an
Americans
administration.
withstand 400% tariffs? What would that
I
look
want
like?
Xi on an airplane to Washington to level the playing field. This is not about tariffs anymore. Nobody has taken on China yet, not the Europeans, no administration for decades. As someone who actually does business,
No, no. So look, all right. So look again. When I think tariffs, I'm thinking fair treatment. And I'm thinking fair treatment. What up, Big Hugh Brown in the building? What's going on with you? But no, when I'm thinking tariffs, I think of fair treatment. And I'm gonna go back to the video in a hot second. But when I went live, what was this? I think this was Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. I went live on IG because I know a lot of times when I get into these conversations, y'all like to ban me over here. They like to ban me. Like I don't need to get banned. Not yet. Maybe this summer. I'll get banned this summer, so I have a reason to not go live. There it is. I gave my secret. I gave away my secret. Your secrets are safe with me. I won't tell. No, but yeah, I might just go. I might say something unruly to get banned this summer. Now I have a reason to not go live on TikTok. But anyway, no, I'm thinking that when he's talking about when Mr. O'Leary is talking about China getting our stuff, IP, intellectual property, y'all. That is intellectual property. The intellectual property is what rules the nation, right? The patents for stuff. Case in point, and I used the idea of a comb, Thursday. No, Wednesday, or Thursday. I used the idea of a comb, right? The basic. Oh, look, the comb is back. I got the comb back right here. Here goes the comb. Right. So if you think of the idea of a comb, and this is how we can break down tariffs, and this is how we can make sense out of tariffs. All right. If you think of this one comb make it may have cost 5 to 10 cents to make, right? 5 to 10 cents to make this comb. Maybe less depending on who's doing it, right? But let's say this comb was made in China, right? Let me see, where is it? I don't know if I can see it. But let's say this comb was made in China, right? Let's say it was 5 cents to produce. It was 5 cents to produce. They did 100,000 combs in 2 hours, or 100,000 combs in an 8 hour day, right? So now these combs were all made at five cents. Now what they would do is they'll say, all right, well, cool. What we need to do is we need to make a profit. Everybody is okay with marking this joint up 100%, and this is why Mr. O'Leary was saying 400% makes sense. 400% makes sense. If they do this comb, and everybody knows, especially if you're in America, you know if you're buying a comb like this in the Dollar Tree, it's gonna be $1.25. Mm-hmm. $1.25 for this one comb. Well, if they produced it at 10 cents and they shipped it at another 10 cents and it's sold over here for $1.25, where's the in between? What made this product go from 25 cents? Let's say they marked it up 200%. That's still ain't nothing but what, 40 cents? What made this go up from 40 cents to $1.25? Why do we have to change over the Dollar Tree to $1.25 tree? Now it ain't even $1.25 trees, $1.25, and we got the $5 section over there, 5 and up. So, and this is the thing. Everybody knows these are cheap products. These products don't require a lot to produce. So why is it so much more money? Why is it so much more money to produce this one thing if, and I don't know if y'all can hear me on TikTok, but why does it cost so much more to produce this one thing and to sell it at such a high cost if it only costs 5 cents to produce? Tariffs. They got to mark it up. Another thing with the IP. Let's say the patent for this comb is a 30-page document. Let's say it's a 30-page document. You want to get this comb mass produced in China. They say, all right, cool. We can mass produce your joint, but what you got to do is send us the patent. Now, how they can justify you sending the patent is saying, okay, well, look, if you send the patent, you got to send the patent for us to be able to create the comb, right? And then what we do, we say, oh yeah, I do got to send the patent for you to create the cone. But after they created your one particular cone, they still got your patent in their books. They still got your patent in their books. So this is what I'm just like, we got to figure out how to change a lot of this stuff up. You say musical politician? Hugh Brown, I'm not a musical politician. I just, again, I'm all about fair treatment. What does fair treatment look like? If fair treatment, now, and this is, let me put it in y'all's context. Let me put it in all of y'all's context is watching this on playback. Let's say tonight you sitting down eating dinner and you say, man, I wish I had so and so. And then this bright idea pops in your head. For some, y'all call it the universe. For some, y'all call it God. For some, it says it's just a really good idea, right? Let's say this idea pops in your head and you start to jot this thing down, right? And you start to take some action and you start to develop a business plan. And you start to talk to Chat GPT to say, all right, what do I need to fast track this process so I can get this to the market? And then Chat GPT and you and your brain, y'all come up with this amazing idea. It's fleshed out. You go get an LLC for the idea. You go get a business license for the idea. You go get the patent for the idea. And keep in mind, all of this stuff costs. None of this stuff is free to do. The only thing that was free was the original idea that popped in your head. That was the only part of this process that's free. But even if you're creating content, whatever you're doing, this stuff costs time or money or both. Let's say you do all of this stuff, and now you say, all right, cool. We have gotten to the point where we're making $50,000 a month. We gotten to the point where we're making $100,000 a month, and now it's time to scale. How can you scale? Now you got to add bodies. You got to add more people to the equation to help flesh the idea out. Well, now, when you do that, you got to feed the people the vision of the idea. If you're feeding the people the vision of the idea, and let's say one of the people in your group, and this is in America, let's say one of the people in your group starts to take the idea because they like your vision. They're like, I think I can do it a little bit better. I can change it up. Now they're stealing your IP because that idea that you had while you was eating your dinner and you start talking to Chat GPT, that whole idea that you flushed out and you scaled it to the point of getting $50,000 a month, that idea, that person is now coming into the equation and getting your idea for free. Because they got to work with you. So now the next thing is they start to take your stuff. And this is over here in America. Let's say they start to take your stuff. They use your idea. You naturally are going to say, yo, I'm going to take y'all to court. This ain't fair treatment. You taking my IP and you utilizing it for your personal gain, and you not paying me nothing. Now, in the event that you were able to lease the idea, or in the event that you were creating some type of franchise, completely different conversation. What they've been doing is taking everybody's IP and mass producing everything at a cheaper cost and then selling it back to us 400%, 200%, 300% marked up. It's already been happening. We've already been paying the higher costs. Yeah, tax these folk, man. Let them talk some more.
There, I've had enough. I speak for millions of Americans who have IP that have been stolen by the Chinese. I have nothing against the Chinese people. They brought great literacy, art, and tech to the world. The government.
I got one more thing. As he talks, I'm getting madder and madder. I'm just like, yo, the fact that everybody was deviating their attention from what was going on during November. I ain't gonna say what it was because I don't want to get shadow banned. But everything that was going on in November, all of that stuff, and TikTok was the primary. It was the big thing that they were broadcasting. Yo, we need to make sure we get a few more weeks with TikTok. We need to get a few more months with TikTok. We got to get TikTok. Do y'all not realize The TikTok algorithm has already been set for the demise of us. The algorithm is already set for the demise. Case in point, if we got multiple people that's shooting dance videos, it's just straight dance videos. I'ma dance, I'ma laugh, I'ma make comedy videos, I'ma like ha 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 ha. I'm wasting time. I'm doing nothing with my life. I know y'all like this song. I'm doing nothing. I'm just shooting the ish. I see you looking at me. Like, comment. Y'all better not take that song. Y'all better not take it. But all of this stuff is happening, already happening with TikTok, right? The fact that we get shadow banned or we get banned for a certain amount of time for just saying the wrong thing at the right time, saying the wrong thing at the right time. The fact that you get banned that fast, what makes us think that we're in control of anything? We're not in control of nothing. So all of this is smoke and mirrors, y'all. Anyway, the IP is stolen. I want to say it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna just say it. Every time y'all post something on socials, somebody's looking. The person that's looking is now officially um, scouting out content. They're scouting out content, and this is for the big content creators. This is for the big platforms. This is for anybody that's utilizing media to make money. Anybody that's utilizing media to make money, they're constantly watching. So you, the person that got 500 people that's watching your stuff every day, or you that got the 100 followers, and you be looking up on a few videos and get a few thousand likes or a few views every now and then. Guess what? Somebody's always looking. Somebody's always looking. It's a few content creators, and I see all y'all. I be looking at y'all. I know exactly who does what. But it's a few content creators I've seen do a few pivoting choices based off of how they see my content. I know y'all doing it. Everybody's doing it. So for me, it's just like, yo, what can we do to be fair? What can we do to be fair? That's all I worry about. I want things to be fair. I don't care if you like me, I don't care if you hate me. Let's make sure it's a fair decision, a fair business decision. All right, let me let them talk some more.
Cheats and steals, and finally, an administration. You may not like Trump, you may not like his style or his rhetoric. Finally, an administration that puts up and says enough. 400% tariffs tomorrow morning. He'll tell you why. She can only stay the supreme leader if people are employed. If we wipe out any business there, because we are still 39.
I want to start a poll. How many of y'all are okay? How many of y'all are okay with taking an L for 6 months to a year to be able to thrive with your personal economy? I'm not talking about the overall economy, because the overall economy is made up of our pockets. How many of y'all are okay with taking the L 6 to 9 months in order to win on the back end? 6 to 9 months. That'll go by like that. Go by like that. How many of y'all are willing to do that?
Percent of all consumables on earth and 25% of the world's GDP. America is the #1 economy on earth with all the cards. We will not have that forever. It's time to squeeze Chinese heads into the wall now.
Well,
I'm
hold
not
on
talking
a
about
second,
tariffs
Kevin.
on
Well,
60.
I hear you, but hold on.
Yo, yo, Kevin be on 10,000. He be saying some crazy stuff.
If we're talking about people, the average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe, can they withstand the pressure?
I want to point something out too. Who is this lady? This lady is amazing. I love the way she communicates. See, this is the thing. This is the thing. I think it's okay. I think it's okay to be combative if there's some substance behind what you're saying. I think a lot of people are just combating idiot stuff. Like I like how she's talking. I like it.
Of that sort of tax on the
It's
goods are going to have?
short-lived. There will be
but what's your timeline compared to, you don't know the average American's timeline, what they can actually survive. There's people right now who can't survive a month.
400% tomorrow morning, cheese on an airplane to Washington to cut a deal.
What do you think?
Here's the thing, though. This
She
is
is
the
so dope.
perfect example of, I understand how it would benefit you, but that's not what the American people voted for. They voted because Trump said within 24 hours, costs will come down.
Trump supporters, by the way, you're talking about.
Well,
Especially.
Trump said that.
All right, so this is the thing. One thing, and I'm gonna let them keep going. That's why I asked the question before I played this part. How many people are willing to take the L short term in order to win long term? It's like the healing process. Remember, I said I used the breaking leg analogy a little bit ago. I was like, yeah, if you break your leg, you go straight to the hospital and they fix it, but they tell you to leave. They still did the job, but how they did it may have been a little mid. I think that's what's going on. I think it's too many. It's too many tariffs at one time. But this is the catch 22. This is the catch 22. Sometimes, and y'all probably gonna fight me for what I'm about to say, but sometimes I feel like people have to see crazy to respect it. I feel like people gotta they have to see crazy to respect the crazy. It's the same concept as the dude y'all know I like to use very basic analogies. But say it's a guy, and everybody that's from my class, the 83 gang, everybody's born in 83s, the 80s, the 90s, some of the 90s babies, but more 80s. We all knew what it was like. They say, yo, after school, hey, it's up. After school, you come outside. I see what's going on, right? Everybody saw that. We remember what that felt like. We remember what it was like for the little kid, because I was somewhat the timid kid until I wasn't. But like the little small timid kid that gets picked on over and over by the bully. The bully keeps going and say, smack you on your head. Walk through the hallway, do something else. All of this stuff keeps building up over time. What did it take for that? What did it take that little kid to do one time for that bully to say, all right, I'm done? They had to show the crazy. The little kid had to show the crazy to get the bully off of him. So I feel like that's what a lot of the tariffs, I think that's what people are starting to see. All right, this dude crazy. Like, he hit up with us. Like, yo, you charging us more tariffs than we made in our whole economy. We ain't even make all of this. You want to charge us 35%? 35% was all we made last year. So I think people have to see the crazy. Now, I do think there are layers to this when it comes to China. There are layers when it comes to China, because China has been, again, taking the IP. They've been taking the ideas. They've been repurposing the ideas. They've been, even this, and this is where folks start thinking that I'm getting into the gentrification talk. It's not necessarily that, but appropriation. All of the trap rappers and all of my black folk, I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all, but y'all have lended y'all have lended the sound. Y'all have lended all of this stuff to certain groups of people. And I'm not talking about black to white folk. I'm talking about us to them over there, right? Across the pond, as they like to say. Yo, you got trap Chinese rappers. You got Chinese soul singers. And all of that's fine. That's expansion. That is expansion of a sound. That is fine. I'm not mad at that. But when it comes to fair treatment, when it comes to utilizing what? Like, there's no reason why K-pop should be dusting pop in the US. There's no reason. See, and y'all thought I was going to just be straight hood. No, I'm talking about all of it. There's no reason why K-pop should be dusting pop in America. We have allowed that to happen. How did this happen? Guess what? They said, well, what we need to do, we need to try to be more diverse. We need to have more people over here to do more things. And if we got more people over here to do more things, spend more money with us, then now we got a bigger economy. Well, yeah, at the detriment of what? At the detriment of what? Same thing with all of my hood rappers. I love when they say, I got this white boy fire. He coming through, he gonna be rapping. All right, cool, guess what? I'm all for that. I produced Eminem 2 times. I'm all for that. But at some point, you can't glorify one group of people and then downgrade or downplay the other group of people that created a sound. So it's just like it's so many nuggets and so many issues that I see within this system when it comes to tariffs. It opens up a whole nother part of Pandora's box that I don't think people are ready for exploring. I don't think people are ready because right now, with this particular conversation on CNN, they're specifically talking about tariffs and the economy, goods, and some of the services. But what happens when those goods or services are now a part of just what we call the culture, what we're calling the culture? What happens? It's a whole different situation.
And there were people in the middle who said, okay, I'm going to vote for that. He also said he'd end the wars. That's not happening. We still have supply chain issues. So I just filled up my tank yesterday. Gas prices are not down. Rent, groceries, prices are not down. And when people are looking what's happening in the markets and they see the uncertainty and they see their 401ks, I had to listen to my mom talk about her investments on Sunday and she's nervous. I get it. On top of that, though, don't forget, tomorrow we're going to have a vote on a budget that is going to be also another series of cuts for the American people and a little bit of gamesmanship, as you were saying, so that we can sort of pay for the tax cuts for folks like Kevin. Then
That was a
we
shot.
also got
That was a
Doge,
shot.
and we got the impact that the Doge cuts and the cuts in jobs are actually having on economies around the country. So it's when you layer all that together.
Karen friendly.
And I think what you saw over last weekend is people don't want to wait anymore. People are angry. I mean,
Hold up. Did they display that sister's name when she was talking? Because I don't think they displayed her name. Let me go back. I don't like that. I don't like that. Don't disrespect my sisters. Don't do that. Don't do that.
The average consumer, not necessarily the head honchos of businesses all across the globe. Can they withstand
Yo.
the pressure of that sort of tax
CNN, y'all whack for that, yo. Y'all
on the
whack.
goods
Maybe
or
I'm gonna
land?
let it play. Maybe they said maybe they played it. They showed the name before. Let me see.
I hear you, but hold on. If we're talking about people, the average
Nope.
consumer,
They
not
didn't.
necessarily
CNN, y'all fix it. Y'all need to fix that. Y'all need to fix that. I don't like how y'all did that. Notice and see again. This is it's the slick. It's the little slick stuff that these. It's the little small slick stuff that be happening. Why didn't they display this sister's name while she's talking? They did not display this sister's name while she's talking. And again, y'all know me. I'm not pro black. I'm not pro white. I'm pro life. I'm pro people. I like for people to win, right? Look
the
at
head
this.
honchos of businesses.
They
all
didn't say her
across-
yeah,
name.
but what?
When this lady
What do you
starts to
think?
talk,
Because Trump said
she starts to talk immediately. They put her name right there. I don't like it. I don't like it. Anyway, we're gonna go to the next subject. No, no, no. They ain't gonna get me. Y'all ain't gonna hit me with that card. Not on this. Not today, devil. I need to get a T-shirt to say "Not today, devil." But anyway, I love to talk about the economy of musicians because this is the Mad Lucrative Podcast. Yes, you're. So in talking about the economy of musicians, and this is probably my last subject, but there are still a lot of people that think that content is an option. It's not an option. Content is no longer an option. It is a necessity. You have to do this. You got to do it. So I want to bring Chris Anutake. I think that's how you say it. Anutake. I think that's how you say it. But I'm gonna bring Chris to the stage because I like how he's talking. This used to be an exec over at Def Jam, and he got a lot of good. He has a lot of good concepts. I'll say that. And his concepts are not just based off of ideas. Like these are things that he utilized while his stint as a president at Def Jam. So let me let him talk, and I want to just kind of expose some things, and we're gonna kind of let's have a conversation. Let me see, pull him up right here. Here we go. All right.
First spend creating content. And when I say content, I'm talking about audio content and visual content, because the more money you spend on the content, the more you have to recoup as an independent artist. Like there's so many ways to make music. Go find producers that are not cheap, but give them a piece of the profits. But don't spend $5,000 on beats. Don't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on making an album. Don't spend tens of thousands of dollars on studio time. Like learn how to do things DIY. Like shoot your videos on your iPhone. If you're gonna shoot a video and you're gonna spend more than $3,000 on it, make sure the song is actually earning that. Don't just spend the money haphazardly, because in this case, a lot of people aren't really watching long form videos if they don't know much about the artist or if they don't know much about the song. Take your time and build, and then eventually start investing the money you're making into building more, and 1 + 1 really equals 4. Like I've seen it happen with so many artists. You know, I would see them, and then 18 months later, I would see them at like 10,000 streams on Spotify. And then 18 months later, they have 10 million. And then 3 years later, they have a song with 70 million streams. And every other song has like 5 to 10 million. And they're making money. And they're doing their first headline tour, and they're selling out shows. And every major music company is trying to invest in them. And they're doing brand deals. And you just got to keep on going. And before you know it, you could have a Russ story where you have 500 million streams, 1 billion streams. Now, Russ did a deal. So I could say that.
No, even La Russell.
Well, La Russell's a great example, right? Completely independent. And now all of a sudden, you got all these streams, you're making money, you're selling tickets, you're selling 1,000 seats in major markets, you're selling merch, getting huge sponsorship deals for 35, 50 grand. You're getting sync deals, you own the masters, you own the publishing. And it's even important to you don't also need a bunch of co-writers. You don't need to split your publishing all types of ways. You don't need to split your master all types of ways. Like find your people, connect with a couple people, write your music, and just put it out and watch what happens. So that's the way I would advise an artist in this market, is to just build. And I'm not saying build slowly, but build maturely. Don't overspend.
I love
creating
that.
content.
I love that. So the nuggets that I want to pull out as it relates to that particular clip, right? I did the whole 30 for 30 challenge in March, right? The 30 for 30 challenge consisted of me coaching musicians, business owners, new time entrepreneurs on how to post every day for 30 days, reach out to 30 people every day, and just build the muscle. The reason for me doing the 30 for 30, which the 30 for 30 is available for y'all to download if you go to the link in the bio. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But anyway, the 30 for 30 was originally created to help people build the muscle and learn how to use social media. A lot of us look at social media as an option because we are consumers. I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to tell you how you can tell if you are a consumer of social media. Let's do a simple thing. Consumer. Consumer, right? You're a consumer of social media if you constantly are scrolling, all right? You scroll with no end in mind. And the only time you stop scrolling is probably when your phone started to die or you got another task that you got to do, right? That is not what, for me, and this is, hopefully this helps somebody, but when I'm thinking of social media, I don't look at it as an option to waste time. I might waste, in general, I might waste, I'm gonna say maybe an hour a day, maybe a full hour a day, like in segments, like little 10-minute segments. I might waste around an hour a day on social media. But the average time for me is real hard business effort time on social media. I am working on plays. I'm working on building my network. I'm working on a new deal. I'm working on a lot of stuff when it comes to social media. Y'all have to change your concept of what social media is for you. IG is not just IG. I look at it like this, and maybe this will help. If I'm looking at a pie chart, let's say I got a pie chart in front of me, and we might put it on the screen right here. But I got a pie chart right here, and 50% of the pie is IG, and with IG that would be Meta, that would be Facebook, that would be WhatsApp, whatever you use that's in that Meta universe, right? That's 50%. Now the other percentage is going to be broken down from TikTok. I'm gonna have LinkedIn. I'm gonna have Twitch. I'm gonna have YouTube. All of my other pieces of the pie of that other 50% is all of that stuff. Now, when it comes to my finance, I'm going to look at YouTube as almost 80% of the finance of from what's made from socials and what's made from content. Well, guess what? That don't mean all of my attention 24/7 has to be on YouTube. I just know that YouTube is the big hand that pays certain bills. So guess what? I'm going to work the YouTube as a business. I'm going to make sure I push all of my traffic from who? Meta. all of my traffic from TikTok. All of my traffic, I'm going to push it to YouTube cuz I know that YouTube is going to pay me the most money. But this is where the breakdown starts to happen. All right, if I know 50% of my attention comes from TikTok or 50% of my attention comes from Meta, I need to now say, okay, am I posting things that aligns with my brand that will now build the leads and build the subscriber base to shoot them over to YouTube or to shoot them over to Patreon or whatever you got going on? Am I currently posting content that'll send these people over there? And once they get over there, is there more content like what they found me for doing? Is it more of that content over on YouTube? Because this is what happens with a lot of people, especially content creators. You get in the habit of creating stuff. And we all do it. We get in the habit of creating a dope show. We got a dope concept. And this week, I'm gonna make sure this week I'm gonna make sure I post me making beats with the Saratoga bottle. And I'm talking about me too. This week I'm gonna post me making beats of a Saratoga bottle. The next week I'm gonna post more podcast clips. The next week I'm gonna post some food posts. The next week I'm gonna post right? Okay, from an IG standpoint, that is a real schizophrenic way of posting content. Very schizophrenic. What I've had to learn how to do is make all of my things align with that specific brand. I don't have an issue with posting beat videos over and over, but I know that the big bang for me is not for me to continue to produce artists. The big bang for me is scoring more films, score more video games, getting in more environments where I can now become friends with the people that own the video games, become friends with the people that own the bigger labels. And now I can become the streamline for the new producer or the streamline for the new artist that's trying to get in the door. And guess what? Now I have the connection that's built up and the rapport is built up from delivering this certain type of content. All of this stuff for me it's an equation. It has to add up. So this is why I get so upset with people that feel like they have enough time. People that feel like they have enough time to just shoot the ish. I am really stingy with my personal time and even being on the phone. I'm not going to be on the phone for a long time. That's not me cuz I have right now in my brain and in my phone, I have things lined up to 2027. That's how far out my brain is going. Now, this is the beauty in it. This is the beauty in it all. Although I have things is lined up for me to go from here to from 2025 to 2027, guess what? Being that this stuff is already on paper, if it comes faster, now I have the space to do more stuff. But I think a lot of people are not utilizing the time properly. Another way we utilize time incorrectly, all of those impoverished conversations, the conversations where people are just wanting to call and vent, yo, bro, I just got to vent. Okay, cool. This venting session has to have a time limit. And my people understand me now. You have to put a time limit on a person's venting session because somebody will take a 4 hour or 2 hours of your time. And all of that time, overtime, adds up. It adds up. So just think about it like this. And I think this is specifically for a lot of my women followers. I think it's okay. It's okay to work in your feminine. It's okay to do what you're really, really good at, right? All of that stuff, I love it. I ain't nothing like a feminine woman. I love it, right? But there are certain friends that's within your groups that will just utilize you as a dumpster. They'll utilize you as the trash can. The only thing that they want to do is call you and empty out a whole load of trash. And it's all right, I feel better. Meanwhile, now you're bogged down with their issues, and they didn't even ask you about your stuff. They didn't even ask you about what you had going on, and that is where the issue is. Like, we have to we have to understand what our relationships are with people, and that again, it's all connected. So I know we started talking about socials, and I started talking about the stuff that Chris was talking about with musicians and making money and all that stuff. But it's all connected. I look at it like this: if you are not constantly watching output versus input. Okay, I did this and it got this result. I did this and this person came into my space. I did this. If we're not constantly watching this, at some point, all of your connections and all of your inner circle people are going to be a whole list of bums. It's going to be a list of bums that's just there to use you for everything that you got. And that's not necessarily money. Again, I'm a high energy person more often than not, right? But as of recently, the older I get, I do feel less energy. That means I have to work a little bit harder. That means I have to work a little bit harder to maintain the good energy that I've always had. Well, if I have more people in my circle that's just using me and that's just they're not trying to give, again, I'm not talking about finances. They're not trying to give good energy. They're not trying to give words of encouragement. They're not trying to push you on, say, yo, keep doing, yeah. If you don't have people in your circle that's doing that, you need to consider a different circle. Because this is how I look at it. And I have literally seen it happen. Now, thank God, knock on wood, the majority of my life, I've had really, really good people in my circle. Really good people. Do I still talk to everybody? No, but if I saw them on the street, it'll be cool. It's not gonna be like super up unless they did something nasty. But in general, I've had really good people in my circle. That encourages me to keep doing more and better stuff over time. If you would have talked to 20, no, not even 20, if you would have talked to 1997 Magneto 7, gotta put the sevens together. If you would have talked to me in 1997, the stuff that I'm talking about right now as a 41-year-old man is the same stuff I was talking about in seventh grade. I've just developed it more over time. Honest to God truth. You can come across any of my friends. I was the kid that was saying, yo, I just got this new 4-track recorder. Yeah, I got this new 4-track recorder. This 4-track recorder is cool. All you gotta do is put the tape, you put the cassette tape in there, and you record on 4 tracks on this side. And then what you could do, if you want more tracks, you just flip the tape over, then you record more stuff, and you just keep flipping the tape. Now the quality does start to get trash. But I was the person that always saw we could do this with that. We could do this with that. Most of the time I don't talk about my middle school and high school experience because I just be like, yo, it's just a lot to talk about. Like, I've just never been a person to stop. Shouts out to Kent, aka the makeup guru down here in Georgia. But he and I started a choir in middle school. This was the first after school program in middle school led by students. Led by students. We had it was me on the keys. I had Richard on the drums, and we were out playing and doing everything. We end up landing what is it, the final, what is it called, the final four, what is, I can't think of what it is. It was March Madness or something. The triple A tournament, whatever the big basketball tournament is that's normally in Charlotte. As a middle school student, we performed at that. As a middle school student, we opened up for Kurt Franklin. As middle school, Kurt Franklin and God's Property. As middle school students, we did this. I've never seen small. I always see big. I always see big. What is going to push this thing forward? So I challenge everybody. Do a new assessment of your circle. If you got people that's using you more of a dumpster than edifying your space, you might need to clip them. If you got people that's always trying to look out for, they want a loan, they're trying to get money off of you. They don't see no other value for you besides getting a loan. You might need a new circle. If they're not willing to hear your issues after you've heard theirs at least, and it's a one-sided situation, you need a new circle. And again, everybody has to just take a new assessment. Just analyze it. All of the stuff that you need and all of the answers that you need is already right there. I promise you. All you got to do is say, okay, I see that. I saw that. Did y'all see that? Why did you talk to me like that? What was that about? Or the people that say it must be good. Everybody, if you don't know that it must be good people, it must be good people, right? Case in point will be, I just talked about me going to Tesla yesterday, right? And I have not checked my stories. I have not checked all of my replies on IG. But it must be good people say, "Oh, you about to get a Tesla? Must be nice." It must be nice. That's what it is. The must be nice people. Oh, yo, you just got a new keyboard in your studio? Must be nice. Those are haters. That's like like yo, I'm just calling the stuff out that I see. I'm calling the stuff out that I see. All of my women, if you got somebody that's like, girl, you need to buy this, you need to buy this, and they're trying to say you need to upgrade because you don't have the newest you need a new circle. You need a new circle. You need people that's going to see the best in you when you're not at your best. You need people to be able to give you inspiration when they're not inspired. That's deep. If you're not around people that cannot give you inspiration when them themselves are not inspired, you need a new circle because they don't respect your relationship. They're not respecting the back and forth, the camaraderie of the friendship. They don't respect it. Cancel it. Cancel that. Be like Nino Brown. You gotta cancel it. So anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show. Again, a few, we got to pay some of the bills. All of my ladies, all of my fellas, if you got a mama, ladies, if you ain't got nothing to do, all of my sisters, aunties, if y'all are mamas, make sure, and you're in the Atlanta area, make sure you get your tickets to the Moms Musical. The Moms Musical is going to be Mother's Day weekend. That Saturday, we're doing two shows. Every woman, and I want really every woman in the city for real, but we are here to pamper y'all. We're here to give y'all a dope stage play. The music is fire. I produce everything, scored it. The singers are phenomenal. My wife is she's the person that spearheaded everything. She wrote the script. She is the person. So please, again, if you are in Atlanta, Georgia, or even if you ain't here and you want to make it a cool weekend, like, yeah, we going to Atlanta for a stage play. Come to our stage play that weekend. I will have tickets below if you want to get your tickets. I would tell you, get the VIP. Get the VIP tickets. Now, it is limited. I know a lot of people have been buying the VIP for their mom. If you get the VIP tickets, you will not be angry. You will get the best bang for your buck. But if you want to get general admission and you kind of on the, don't have it just yet, get general admission. It is a dope show. The environment is dope. The venue is amazing. It's secure. Like it's not just some random club or some random auditorium. Like we paid top dollar for y'all to have an amazing experience. So if you're here in Atlanta, Georgia, Mother's Day weekend, make sure you get your tickets. Tickets will be below. All of my entrepreneurs, I have the 30 for 30 now available. Yeah. The 30 for 30 challenge is now available. 30 for 30 challenge is a blueprint of what to post, when to post, how to post. It's branding 101. It is marketing 101. I teach you funnel systems, and it's a daily check-in. I'm literally coaching you every day for 30 days. That is now available at the link in my bio. It's now available. If you're watching this on YouTube, again, links in the description. The 30 for 30 is a powerhouse. It's like my new flagship product that everybody will get some gems from. And it's just a really dope system. But anyway, hopefully y'all enjoyed today's show. I enjoyed bringing it to y'all, and I will see y'all next week. Peace.